Hello, this is David Skull from Roaring Penguin Technical Support. In this video, I'll show you how to start a CanIt installation, but allow Roaring Penguin Technical Support personnel to complete it remotely. This can be useful if you require something unusual like software RAID, and you would prefer Roaring Penguin to set up your machine. To start the installation, insert the CanIt CD into the CD ROM and boot your computer. When it gets to the boot prompt, press F1 for help, or enter to boot. Type the word expert and press enter. The system will walk you through the installation procedure. The first thing you'll be asked to do is choose a language. Instead of choosing English, we recommend that you choose C, no localization. Next, pick the continent where your server is located and the country. The system will then ask if you want additional languages installed. You probably don't, so just tab over to continue and hit enter. Second step, you're asked to choose a keyboard layout. The default PC style is probably fine. And the American English key map is probably fine too. Third step, the system will ask to detect and mount the CD-ROM. It may ask you some questions about your hardware. If you don't understand the question, just press enter because the default will probably work fine. As we see, the CD-ROM was detected successfully. Fourth step, load the debconf pre-configuration file. Our CanIt installer comes with a file that preloads specific components that are optimal for running CanIt. So just press enter to run this step. Fifth step, load additional installer components from the CD. Here we're going to want to load a component that permits remote installation. So scroll down to Network Console, right here, highlight it, and press space. You should see an asterisk appear next to the Network Console. Continue. The sixth step is to detect network hardware. There's not much to do. The installer just detects the hardware and moves to the next step, which is configure the network. If you have a DHCP server, you can auto-configure the network with DHCP. I'm going to demonstrate how to pick a static IP address. So I'm going to pick the IP address 10.0.0.2 for this machine. I'll leave the net mask as it's suggested, and I'll leave the gateway as suggested as well, and let's pretend our name server is at 10.0.0.3. The system will prompt you to verify the information. If it's correct, hit yes, and the network will be configured, which could take a few seconds, so let's just wait for it to complete. There we go. Now the system will ask you to name the server. We like to name our CanIt hosts CanIt, so that's what I'll name this one, CanIt. And then you'll be asked for your domain name. You should use your real domain name. So in our case, I'll call it roaringpenguin.com. And now the good part. Continue installation remotely using SSH. The system will prompt you for a remote installation password. So pick a password and enter it. Enter it again to verify. And now the machine is ready for remote installation. What you need to tell Roaring Penguin is the IP address of your machine and the installer password that you picked. Note, in this example I've picked a private, non-routable IP address. If you want us to access the machine remotely, you do of course need to give it a routable public IP address. If this is not possible, you need to configure port forwarding on a public IP address so that we can reach port 22 on the CanIt machine. From this point, Roaring Penguin will take over the installation, and you should see your machine reboot in 10 to 20 minutes and come up as a brand new CanIt appliance. Thanks for watching the video.